So I finally got into Hunter x Hunter. It took me a minute to really get into the show, but once I did, I was like in it. The main reason why I think this show is so phenomenal is because of the friendship of these two right here. So let's talk about it. Got some notes. I got a lot of notes. Oh gosh. Okay. I love Gon and Killua. Since their friendship began, I wanted to really dig into what made their happy boy, moody boy dynamic work despite mutual respect. And it was while I was reading an essay that I got assigned in class that I finally discovered like what makes them click. The essay is called Poetry and Doubt by a poet named Adam Zagajewski, and in it he discusses the concepts of poetry and doubt in relation to two writers he's observed. The writer that Zagajewski places under the poetry umbrella is named Czesław Miłosz, specifically his work Roadside Dog, a collection of poems and prose notes. Zagajewski describes Roadside Dog as a pan in whose scales lay beauty and horror. He goes further to say that if beauty almost always triumphs, this is not due to some abstract humanism, some didactic doctrine that might be analyzed by authors of textbooks, but only thanks to the author's poetic curiosity, which produces that something more, that extra je ne sais quoi that is poetry. Basically, he's saying that poetry is something. Poetry is the creation of something new. Poetry is feeling all the feelings, and poetry is Gon freaks.
カイトを助けに。ゴン、お前は光だ。ああ、そうだな。時々眩しすぎてまっすぐ見られないけど、それでもお前のそばにいていいかな。
Gon is extremely passionate and bright. Gon is consistently in a state of wonder and discovery. He leaves to take the hunter exam because he's wondering how amazing must it be to be a hunter if my dad left me to become one. And that's really sad if you think about it. Gon could have become bitter about that situation easily, but then you wouldn't really have much of a story, would you? Instead, he became curious and decided to follow in his father's footsteps. One might say he developed a poetic curiosity. He's wondering, what is it about thing that makes things so thingy? Gon is passionate about what he strives for. Like a typical shonen protagonist, he never gives up, ever. When people see him in action, they say there's something special about him. And I'd say that that's an extra je ne sais quoi. That's poetry that's special about Gon freaks, according to these essays that I read. Now on to doubt. The writer that Zagajewski places under the doubt umbrella is Emil Cioran. To give you a brief idea of who Cioran is, he's famous for bleak philosophical essays grounded in the principle that only he who was never born is happy. In his posthumously published diary titled Notebooks, he refers to the idea of doubt with a capital D. Zagajewski refers to this capital D doubt by saying, the great prompter of doubt is death. Why should I do this or that, think this or that, say this or that, when death will come inevitably? If poetry is on one hand curious, asking what is it about thing that makes things so thingy, then doubt is the opposite, asking what is it about anything that makes anything at all. And sometimes doubt doesn't even go as far as to ask that question. Sometimes doubt just says, we'll all die in the end anyway. Killua represents doubt. Why does Killua represent doubt? Because Killua always asks them questions. Killua is constantly cautious. He's always second guessing. He's not second guessing himself. He's second guessing the scenario. He's second guessing what could possibly happen.
あんたライセンスを使うんだね。バカ！自宅のパソコンを使ったら住所がバレバレになるだろ。誰かもそうだけど、理由の方も知りたいんだってば。バカかおめえはよ。理由ってそいつに直接聞くのか？あいつらが教えてくれるわけねえだろうが。
出すなら出せよ。誰も助けちゃくれないぜ。
ちょっと待った。その人の手を離した。痛いな。 よりによってあんなベタな出会いに引っかかってんじゃねえ。
While Killua is arguably stronger than Gon, I'd say Killua's doubt holds him back, while Gon's passion pushes him forward, putting them at kind of like the equal level. Now let's talk about poetry and doubt and Gon and Killua and compare and contrast. Zagievsky states that poetry's argument with doubt has nothing to do with the facile quarrel between optimism and pessimism. If you take the statement, there is good in the world, then the antithesis of that statement is not there is evil in the world. No, the antithesis of that statement is there good in the world? Gon and Killua are both optimists. It's just that Gon has an unyielding optimism, while Killua has an optimism that is a result of thought and planning. His optimism is hesitant until it's thought through and confirmed. And if the optimism is not entirely confirmed, then he does not take action.
実はさ、俺ゲームに関しては秘策があるんだ。なんだよ秘策って。今はまだ内緒。全面もったいぶらずに言えよ。
It's that hesitancy and that brief non-belief that Killua has that's the key differentiator between poetry and doubt. Now on to the big question. Why is Killua the best friend that Gon could have?
でも忘れないで。ゴンに一番必要なのはあなたなのよ。
This is a paragraph directly from the essay. Poetry and doubt require one another. They coexist like the oak and ivy, like dogs and cats, but their relationship is neither harmonious nor symmetrical. Poetry needs doubt far more than doubt needs poetry. Through doubt, poetry purges itself of rhetorical insincerity, senseless chatter, falsehood, youthful loquacity, empty and authentic euphoria. Released from doubt's stern gaze, poetry, especially in our dark days, might easily degenerate into sentimental ditties, exalted but unthinking song, senseless praise of all the earth's forms. In short, doubt makes poetry touch grass. Doubt makes poetry come down from being all magical, mystical, woo-woo, and it asks it the hard questions, and it grounds it in reality.
Killua, 何考えてんだ。あいつの処立ちは俺が死んでも止めるから。その間に逃げろっつってんだよ。
Like you could, G.
何しやがんだてめえ。勝手なこと言うな。死ぬとか簡単に言うなって言ってんだ。だとおめえだってさっき言ってただろうが。俺はいいんだ。でもキルアはダメだ。
I will now be providing examples from the Chimera Ant arc, so any students who have not yet viewed or read that section, you are now dismissed until the timestamp indicated below. And also, this is a good time to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content. Leave a comment, even if it's just an emoji. It makes my day and it gets all that engagement up and whatnot, so it helps out my channel. Moving on. During the Chimera Ant arc, there are several examples of Gon's poetry and Killua's doubt. The first case is when Gon and Killua are discussing what they will do if Kite encounters the ants. Kite tells them to leave. Later, in conversation with Killua, Gon states that he refuses to abandon Kite. Killua states that he doesn't know what he'll do when the situation comes up. When Kite, Gon, and Killua encounter Pito, and Gon and Killua don't immediately leave, Kite loses an arm. Seeing this, Gon becomes enraged, starts powering up to fight Pito, who was way too powerful for Gon to stand a chance at the time. But Gon was going to fight anyway because he's poetic, he's passionate. He was feeling the feelings. It was Killua who had to literally knock some sense into him, knock him out, and drag him away from the scene for his own safety. When Gon encounters Pito, he becomes irate. When he hears that Pito wants to heal Kumagi, an innocent, before they fight.
Save? What do you mean? By save, huh? Anything? You say that you'll do anything? Killua, I'm asking the questions here. What do you mean by save? Tell me.
It's Killua who forces him into his deadly calm state in which he agrees to wait 1 hour for Pito to heal Kumagi, but not before saying, "Must be nice."
Show me. No! You kill Pito, and Kite will never be whole again. Must be real nice for you. You can stay calm. Because it's not your fight.
Gon is noting how calm Killua has remained and how he's able to remain focused. In asking all of his questions, Killua was preparing for the unexpected so that when it came, he would still keep his eyes on the goal that's healing Kite rather than becoming blinded by rage like Gon. This is further proven when Gon learns that Kite is already dead and he begins to have a mental breakdown. His mind is split in between two options: total sadness or total anger. He argues with himself that Kite's death is all his fault, or Kite's death is all Pito's fault. In between all of those thoughts, he's saying, someone help me. Because he knows that in his condition, he can't help himself. If Killua had been present, he would have prevented Gon from transcending and using up all his power and getting as deeply injured as he got. And there's no doubt about that. In conclusion, with Gon and Killua, each has one thing that the other lacks. Gon has a sense of wonder and adventure, and he teaches Killua how to have fun and how to make friends. Killua has a deeper sense of the world, and he's developed the caution and maturity that I assume comes from being raised in a family of assassins. These two are the best anime friends that I have ever seen, and they don't even need to rely on the power of friendship to handle their business. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been Meanie Mosey, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.